This is Bill Kenower of Author Magazine, and today we're continuing our conversation with author Garth Stein about the re-release of his first novel, Raven Stole the Moon. You know, it seems to me that part of the reason you had the success that you did with Art of Racing in the Rain was the connection you had to the readership was on a certain emotional level, and it seems to go beyond just entertaining them, but it's something that they wish to hear at this time that you have chosen to say. Yes.
I believe that there's a certain zeitgeist in the air, and that what makes one book, say, more successful or speak to people in a special way over a different book is being able to tap into that. And I find it interesting because, you know, my other books have similar message, but it wasn't maybe put in a way that was people were ready for, or maybe people weren't ready quite for that message.
I think it's the latter, maybe. I'm wondering if time has shifted since this was released, which was only now 12 years ago, but a lot has happened in 12 years.
I think there really is a movement that's happening in our culture and our society, and it really is toward a sort of a self-responsibility, a self-reliance, if you will. These are not unfamiliar ideas. You know, you can look at it, you can go back to the very simple basic things. You know, in the 60s, as I recall, the recycling bin was you roll down the window of your car and you throw it out into the median of the freeway. Why is that? Well, because we've realized that back in the 60s, we said, well, the government will take care of it, or someone else it's someone else's problem, and they're going to watch it. And you know what? They didn't. If I want something, I can't wait for someone to give it to me. I have to go work for it and apply myself.
But you're a great example of that, because the reason you are where you are today as an author has a lot to do with sticking your neck out and sticking with something that you believed in against the evidence which said, no, don't do it. A lot of people telling you, no, don't do it.
Yes, I mean, that's definitely the way Racing in the Rain came about. Fortunately, with Raven Stole the Moon, I didn't have that issue. I had written it and kind of knew an agent who suddenly kind of made it happen. But the similar thing did happen with my second book, How Evan Broke His Head and Other Secrets. I gave it to my agent, and she said, I'm not into it, and go write something else. And it was a tough crisis because I believed in the book, and I ended up selling the book myself to Soho Press, and they did a great job with it. And so, you know, at what point do we compromise? At some point, yes, it's probably better to put some things aside, but only if you're putting something aside, you better believe in your heart that it needs to be put aside. Right. Because otherwise there's going to be a huge regret forever if you just listen to someone else and say, I really thought it could be successful, but I gave up on it. Right. You know, I really think that's an important message. It's something I like to teach my kids. Like, if you feel it deep down inside, then you got to stick up for it and you got to fight for it.